Can you trust car reviews? Well, earlier this year, I have exposed Volkswagen and other brands for bluntly banning critics like myself from their media drives to avoid criticism, and I showed you how big media outlets like Fully Charged lie to you in order to keep their early access to the cars and breaking news. Today, I will show you what happens when a group of popular car review publications decide to attack a new brand for the very things they have given a pass to other more well-connected brands. In this case, I'm talking about the new car maker that you may have never heard of, Vinfast. You see, Vinfast is new to the US market and it just got a ton of bad reviews earlier this year from a few big publications. That's not very common. So what really happened here? Well, let's go over them and then compare what they said about Vinfast versus what they said about other brands when it came to the exact same shortcomings. Now, don't get me wrong, Vinfast has plenty of things to fix and improve, and it is crucial that they do. Let's start with the road and track that called Vinfast's EPA range a problem, but when they reviewed the Honda E that has half of that range and yet not even close to half of the price, somehow said, oh well, it's not perfect, doesn't have the longest range, but what's more important is that it's a lovable hood. So 200 miles of range, bad. 100 miles of range? Oh look, how adorable. What a cutie. Wait, what are we talking about? But the road and track did not stop the hypocrisy there. They have also claimed that the Vinfast media car was unfinished. Now, that very well might have been the case, and again, that's on Vinfast, but no car in the modern history was more unfinished and had the worst build quality for years than the Tesla Model S. Even Tesla's now biggest fanboy and former contributor to this channel, Sandy Monroe, said this in our conversation about Tesla's poor build quality and specifically the terrible paint shop at Tesla's Fremont factory.
The reason that the paint quality is poor on the Tesla is because they got a really bad paint shop. And if it was up to me, during the COVID problem, I would have bulldozed that place and I'd have spent the $500 million it takes to put in a really primo paint shop.
Yes, per Sandy Monroe, and you can watch that video in its entirety, anything that came out, and in some cases still does come out, of the Fremont, California factory has build quality issues. I know because I was one of the first Tesla Model S customers back in 2012. The car was built out of cardboard, spit, and hope. So let's see what the road and track said about the unfinished and sloppy build quality of the Model S when they did a review of it. Alright, here it is. Scrolling, still nothing. Oh, what's this? Oh, the article specifically mentions that there was nothing to complain about at all and that Tesla has produced a perfect car. Now, honestly, I don't even have time to list all of the articles and videos outlining all of the, what do you guys call it? Oh yeah, unfinished and embarrassing build quality of early Teslas with panel gaps, missing parts, falling off trim, fading paint, and a million of other build quality issues. But you didn't notice any of them. Not even over the years when you had a chance to update your article with the, and I don't mean to introduce new terms to your editorial staff, facts. But Road and Track wasn't the only one to point out the build quality issues in the VF8. One of the biggest automotive publications, the Motor Trend, pointed them out as well. Well, surely they have pointed out exactly the same issues when they reviewed the Model S in 2013. No? Nothing at all. Weird. How about their 2014 review? Still nothing. 2015? 16? 17? 18? The Green Car Reports didn't fare any better, bitched and complained about the media car being unfinished, but in their review of the 2012 Tesla Model S, it literally says, "We saw no major quality flaws." Okay. I mean, not okay. Even Gelnik, which usually is pretty fair at dishing out criticism, couldn't resist to take a shot at the VF8, but when I looked up their review of the Model S, they too said nothing about Tesla's horrendous build quality. There was also this report from Stephen Ewing of Inside EVs, who felt carsick during his media drive, and despite this sounding more like a personal old man problem, and I know because I have plenty of them, he has dedicated a good majority of the top prime space of his article to his tummy trouble before he even started the actual car review. Finally, Kyle Connor of Out of Spec said this about the $55,000 VF8.
Again, for 55 grand, does it feel that premium?
But when he drove the Tesla Model S Plaid for more than double of that price, he said this.
It's not nearly as premium as some of the other cars, but do you really need it?
Well, Kyle, if you don't need it in a $130,000 car, why would you need it in a... never mind. I am tired. But you do get the picture. These reviewers and publications are straight up take us for fools, and there is nothing we can do about it. Or can we? By the way, I wasn't planning on making this video, but when Vinfast has asked me to produce a sponsored series of videos together, which I was more than happy to do because I am a fan, I said, hey, you know, sponsoring my channel is not going to buy my opinion, right? If we're going to move forward with this, we're gonna have to address the elephant in the room, which is all of these bad reviews that are coming out. And they said, knock yourself out. So that's how I started to dig into what was behind all of it, and now you see what I have discovered. And let me tell you, when a brand comes out with their first EV, it's always far from perfect, whether it's a Tesla or a Mercedes. And the media cars that are usually very early production cars are generally not very good, but apparently neither is the journalistic integrity of some people with access to them. Now, let's address a couple of things that I have yet to mention. First, you might be wondering, is it really fair to compare two reviews by two different reviewers of the same publication? I mean, they can have two different perspectives, right? Well, no. When it comes to bigger publications, like Road and Track, Motor Trend, and others, each publication usually has their own set of moral and editorial standards, and they have multiple people, including the editor-in-chief, to make sure they are enforced. So different writers may have different set of opinions, but not different set of facts or bias. It is also very much possible that Tesla or other brands have given the reviewers more polished media cars, and honestly, this is where Vinfast dropped the bomb and should get better at it. But this is why these reviews should at some point be updated, when the publication is able to get a hold of their own car, purchased or rented, to conduct a true independent review, and yet they don't. So, should you trust car reviews? Now, the short answer is no. However, I would suggest do what I do when I'm trying to research a new car, new smartphone, or a new travel destination. Read and watch the reviews that present both sides of the story, the pros and the cons. Oh, and if you want to see the evidence that I have exposed when Volkswagen has banned me from their media drives unhappy with my criticism, and then show you how big channels like Fully Charged take advantage of this very same corruption, this is the video right here. And yes, I have lost tens of thousands of dollars in potential revenues by publishing this video, so you know it's worth a look. Alright, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.